Do we want to get rocked?
Hello and welcome to another podcast. I'm Fatui and let's talk games. E3 special episode, Sony. This time, the last of the big giants is finally over. The presentation just ended like 2 minutes ago, and boy, was there a lot of content to write down. This is the first time I've actually covered E3 this much, but normally I'm just a spectator, just like most people. But writing down every detail and figuring out what they're talking about, wow. Well, as for games, I'm pretty sure that if you've seen the free press conference, Sony puts a game display that none of the other can match, but that doesn't mean, of course, that they had a better press conference. Let's start out. Well, Jack Tretton came out, as we all figured that he's the guy who always comes out and talks about stuff, and he of course introduced some of the ideas and all that. Hirai came out, the other one from Sony came out, and talked about, of course, the 3D and how they're pushing it and all that. 3D TVs are going to are being launched. The Bravia series is being launched as we speak. Showed a bunch of content through the 3D, and they actually in the press conference, before the press conference started, or people that were in the press conference got 3D glasses to see the 3D content that was out there. Killzone 3 was displayed, which is released February 2011. They showed a little bit more what they have shown before of the other conferences, or actually at the pre-E3 show from Game Trailers. They showed a lot more this time. It's 3D, it's going to be move support, and it's going to be one Blu-ray disc for both the 3D and the normal version. The game looks fantastic, and there's nothing to say. Guerrilla has done a great job with it. I can only speculate how well it will sell. The other thing they announced, of course, also 3D MotorStorm. Apocalypse is going to come out. Kotaku has already teased about this with some of the things. Gran Turismo 5 is finally coming out, and instead of HD, of course, but it's also going to be 3D. It's going to be coming out, let's see here, what did I put down as the date? November 2nd this year. It's finally coming out. It looks great. I don't think I've seen more realistic cars in a game in this here. And they showed, of course, Crysis 2, Mortal Kombat, Shaun White snowboarding, Tron 2, NBA 2K11, iPad, NBL 10, and those, all of them 3D and support, move support is gonna be downloadable with some of the games. Some of the specific games that are specific done for the move, of course, is Fight Lights Out, and what else was there? Of course, the Adventure Champion, Battle Champions, whatever it's called. We've seen it last year. Aragon's Quest is also one of them. Sly, it looks like a Sly collection game is actually coming out also. Actually, and one other thing that they mentioned is going to come is actually also exciting for people that, for instance, like Ratchet and Clank and Daxter and all that. We're actually getting a game called Heroes on Move. Or Heroes on the Move, which will include all the 6 big big heroes that have been on PS3 in one game, and it's going to be move support. Of course, that's why it's on the move. We got some data on how, and after including all this, we got some data on how move works. We got, of course, announced of SOCOM. We got to see Sorcery, which is a Move exclusive title. Looks really cool. I'm really excited about that. That's definitely, I'm gonna pick up Move, buy that game. 2011 is coming out. It's where you play Apprentice Sorcerer, where you actually move with a flick of a wrist, throw magic, but it looks so cool. You gotta check it out. They showed off. EA came out and showed off Tiger Woods 11th, 2K 11th. I think it's already out, but there's going to be a DLC update, so it's going to be move support. Time Crisis is going to come, a new version of that. If you remember Time Crisis from some of the older platforms, I think there was one on PS3 also in the first year where you actually could buy a gun, but I remember it for PS2 and PS1. This here is a on-rail shooter. It looks, it's gonna be of course move game. SingStar Dance, Echrochrome 2, Resident Evil 5 Gold Edition is gonna have mood support. There's gonna be a game called Shoot, which also looks like an on-rail shooter. Then in through the middle, Kevin Butler came out. And I didn't expect that, but actually, if you think about it, it's of course logical that their mascot comes out, does a little dance, and hypes up the crowd, which he did greatly. I think a lot of people were expecting him and were excited about that. And we got a date for Move. And here's the nice part. Finally, Europe is getting it first. September 15th is going to be release date for Europe. September 19th is going to be North America. October 21st is going to be Japan. Move is going to be set as a single piece for $50 retail price. The sub-control is going to be $30. There's going to be the bundle with a PlayStation Eye, one game, and a Move for $100. That was actually announced last year, or I think at GDC. And there's going to be a bundle for people that just want to get into this and don't have a PS3. It's going to be PS3, a Move, an Eye, one game for $3.99. And through all of this, if you look at the Move, which is Sony's new motion control, compared to Natal, which doesn't have anything, just a stupid camera. If the price is right, if you watch Engadget or gone to GameStop, they actually announced the price for it, what it's gonna sell for, and that's that's $150 for a Move camera, or not a Move camera, for a Kinect camera, and that's pretty much way too much. I will never pay that, never. So I think Sony's is definitely doing it right by pricing it this here, and I gotta say I'm gonna pick it up. Definitely gonna pick it up. I actually don't have an eye camera yet, so I may be picking up maybe the bundle for $100 and then a sub controller. But we'll see. They of course talked about the PSP2, where there's still going to be a support of that, and how it sold 7 million consoles last year, and Latin America is having good looks on that. They of course announced that they're going to try to relaunch, with a little bit of help of a kid and Kevin Butler, the PSP. They have announced, of course, the Peace Walker came out last week in North America. It's coming out this week in Europe. It's gonna go bundles. There's gonna be more support for games constantly. Invisibles is one of them. God of War, Ghost of Sparta, for Third Birthday, which is the Parasite Eve third game. It's gonna be on PSP also, and I think it's also gonna be on the PS3. Little Big Planet 2 was after that revealed. They showed a little bit of gameplay on that and how creative they can be, and the tools, how powerful they can be. After that, they talked about which we all know was going to happen, was the PlayStation Plus subscription, which in my opinion didn't sound too interesting at the moment, but I still need to get some more details on it. It's going to be first price reduction or early access to demos, all the stuff that you pretty much read on the net is pretty much true so far. The only thing I haven't checked out is voice chat and stuff like that. And it's actually in next month. It's gonna be Core is gonna be included. So I'm actually thinking of maybe of actually going over to that because Core is, well, Core is not expensive, but if I can get this plus Core and for a couple of bucks more, it's definitely worth the price. After that, third parties came out. Medal of Honor was the single player reveal. It's going to come out October 12, 2010. Dead Space Dead Space people came out again, and they actually revealed a limited edition. A limited package for Dead Space, which is going to include Dead Space 2, which is going to have move support, and of course Dead Space Extraction for PlayStation 3 with move support. And they showed off some of the last thing, and it's coming out next year, if I remember correctly. Yeah, early next year. I don't think it's this year, if I remember correctly. Okay, Portal 2 was actually announced because Nolan, or the guy from Valve, came out, and the funny thing is he's been bashing Sony for a long time with this, and I think actually this is why Portal was delayed to next year. 2011 is actually to get it on the PS3. There's going to be Steam Cloud support. It looks great. They actually showed some of the first detail on it. It looks really great, and I was actually happy to be on it. So Valve was finally going to support the PlayStation a little bit more when they have done. So let's see how they do it. After that, we saw a demo of Final Fantasy XIV. How long that is going. Square Enix is doing a great job with that. It looks great. Assassin's Creed 3 DLC is going to be exclusive for the PS3, so I'm definitely, of course, going to get the Brotherhood, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood on that, not just because of the DLC, but I own the other ones on PS3, so definitely going to get that. Actually, and then a demo of the upcoming games that came out was reviewed. And actually, I saw a game which I remember is True Crime is actually going to be relaunched, or there's going to be a sequel to the last one. There was actually the first one, True Crime, and then that was True Crime LA, and the second one was actually True Crime New York, and this is the third one if I remember correctly. Definitely interested. I liked the first one. I never played the second one. And let's see, Infamous 2, 2011. Finally, a demo, CGI demo came out. Looks really awesome. Definitely a big fan of Infamous. Definitely my pick game of the year or for 2008 when it came out. The next one next year is looking also awesome. I'm definitely gonna pick that up. And then the last thing is, of course, David Jaffe, where people have been shouting out for many years now at getting a Twisted Metal sequel on PlayStation 3, and it's gonna come and it's gonna be exclusive, and it looks great. I actually never played it. I played the Twisted Metal, but it looks great, and it's no release date, probably next year, hopefully, maybe earlier. But awesome show. Definitely some hypes, a lot of content. I'm really running through them fast for a couple of reasons. One reason is I can talk for hours about all this. I'm not going to bore you too much with it. I'm going to recap some of it in the next podcast. And of course, it's late for me. It's actually 11 p.m., so I need to get to bed soon because I've work tomorrow. But my opinion, they didn't actually. I was hoping that they showed off the PSP 2 And maybe it's still a rumor. I've heard rumors about actually people seeing it, and it's probably from rumors I actually have it. There was a small chance that it's going to be showed this E3. It looks like they were right. It wasn't going to be showed because maybe Tokyo Game Show. Who knows? Or maybe it's just bullshit. I don't know. I'm hoping that they relaunch the PSP in some way, but I think maybe they're doing it right, actually trying to, with Kevin Butler and that kid that they showed off, getting good games on it instead. And there are good games, definitely great games coming out. Peace Walker has been hyped up to be the best Metal Gear game so far, and that's on a handheld. Yeah. Not much else to say then. Thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoyed my E3 coverage. Feel free to Twitter about it, tell your friends about it, comment on my blog, spread the word about Let's Talk Games. It's going to help me keep on going. And I thank you so much for listening, all the fans out there. So until next time, peace.
Sudden fear has left me trembling, 'cause now it seems that I am out here on my own, and I'm feeling so alone. Learn to jump to the great streets and the broken roads. Some call it sun, some call it nights. I wanna take you through a wasteland I like to call my own. Welcome to paradise.